Hi, everybody. Welcome to class 5, course ACI 3, Applied Meditation. And let's make what we learned a little bit more practical. Mm-hmm. So you can already get ready to a short meditation in the beginning. And I was thinking, let's do it in the order you will be doing it usually. And it's a little bit uncomfortable to me to do it in English, because usually in my head it goes like bam, 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 and it's a different language. So this is why I will try to go not to go too fast, not to confuse. Okay. So imagine that you have cleaned your space and you have your altar ready if you have one. If you don't have an altar, or like you live with other family members who think that you are in a sect, if you have an altar, then you can just imagine in your head, just to sit somewhere in a peaceful environment, clean space. And imagine that you either set up physically or at the very least in your mind, set up beautiful offerings for wise and kind beings that can support your meditation. And then at this stage, like we are 2 out of 6 conditions, 6 preliminaries for meditation. At this point, you close your eyes, actually. You sit and you close your eyes. And now let's go through the posture. So either you sit on a chair, or if you have a cushion, you can sit in a lotus or half lotus if you can. Not necessarily, not to hurt your knees. And your eyes can be either half open and unfocused, or they can be completely closed. It's okay. Your body is straight. Imagine that the top of your head, crown, goes really up, and then the rest of the body will just follow. Your shoulders are on the same level. And your chin is parallel to the floor. Your teeth and lips are in natural position. Your tongue is slightly touching the top of your mouth, just behind your teeth. I like to do a couple more adjustments as I was taught by Geshe Michael, like slight Mona Lisa smile, because it will block your side channels. That yoga people know what it means. And tighten a little bit your abdomen muscles, just a little bit. And tighten your muscles on your back between your shoulders, between your shoulder blades, just a little bit. And usually we have a tendency to bend a little bit more forward. So for me, usual adjustment is to go a little bit back with my body, backwards. And now let's do 10 exhales and inhales. And you focus on the exhale. The inhale happens automatically. And you try to really follow your breathing movements. Imagine that you sit at your nose and you observe how warm air leaves your nostrils and cold air enters your nostrils. And your attention is almost completely at the tip of your nose. We do 10 exhales and inhales. Then we go for refuge. Think about problems you have in your life. Any challenges you face. And think about the ways you tried to fix it and it didn't work. Bring up in your mind the correct worldview. You can think about the pen story or the two husbands in the kitchen story. To remember that everything comes from our previous actions, words, and thoughts, and there is no other reality than this one, created by my previous actions. And think how wonderful it would be if you could resolve your issues and help everybody else. The world does not have to be as it is. You can change it to transform it into the one that you like. Now imagine your teacher or any being that you think is holy, that possesses wisdom, kindness, compassion. in front of you. Imagine they're physically present. Their body is beautiful. You can try to imagine that they're made of light. You feel the fragrance from their body. And the warmth. You can imagine that your teacher came to meditate with you. Now let's collect all the good vibes and get rid of all the obstacles in meditation. And first, let's bow down to this teacher, or it can be a historical figure in your religion, can be your parents, your teachers, anybody who is wise and kind for you. Think about their great qualities. Maybe pick one that you want to develop yourself. I'm thinking now about somebody who was never, I have never seen him being angry. I'm bowing down mentally to the patience he has. Feel joy about this quality of your teacher, because if you can see this good quality, you can develop it yourself. Then at this stage, you want to offer something to this being who came to meditate with you. You can offer this meditation. You can offer something cool that you have done within a couple of days or so. Traditionally, in the scriptures, they usually say that you can imagine the sky full of flowers, garlands of flowers. You can even just imagine something that you offer to this being. Now we will clean the obstacles to the meditation by confessing one thing that you are not proud of, that you have done within the last 24 hours. And your teacher has more love to you than you ever loved yourself. And of course, they forgive. they are not unhappy with you. They know you're doing your best. Just try not to do it again. Then think about something good that you have done within 24 hours or a couple of days or so. Should be different from the offering if you did it. Like, I'm thinking that we are teaching these classes and they are just precious and priceless. This is why they're free. This is probably the best I can do with my life today. And I make it an offering. And try to feel really happy about good things you are doing. Now ask your teacher to stay with you, never leave you. Continue to teach you. Teachers can come through different beings. So if you're open for teachings, they will teach you. I like to imagine here that my teacher rises up in the air, all shining. His body is made of light. He's like, looks like a 16 years old, maybe. Very beautiful. He is becoming very little, like a small bird, and goes to sit on my crown, on the tip of my head. Shrinks even more, like a thumb or even less. You can ask for blessings at this stage. Blessings means that you will get more capacities in future to understand, to practice, to help other people. Imagine that your teacher enters into the crown of your head. They're made of light, they can do it, and travels into your heart. Dedicate this meditation to every living being, to their ultimate happiness. I like to do it in 3 breaths. First breath, I share these seeds, beautiful seeds I have just planted with everybody whom I know. And I imagine that when I exhale, golden light goes out of my chest to everybody that I know. With the second exhale, to everybody on this planet, every living being. And then countless golden rays of lights with the third breath goes out to everybody in this universe. And that was the last step. That is called dedication. Go back to your breathing. Open your eyes. The reason we have done it, because boy, it took me a long time to figure out how these lists go together. And so if you do your main meditation, not just go through your 7 ingredients, then you do it before dedication. The dedication is the last step that will be after you will meditate. Okay.
Nice meditation. Just a note on teachers. They do play a very central role in these teachings. And it's important that you right teacher, that you have confidence in them. And they say that typically it takes 12 years in order to have confidence in a teacher. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. You're learning from them before, but you don't need to be in a hurry to accept teacher, and you should really thoroughly investigate them and weigh for yourself, examine for yourself, judge for yourself, what you think. Do you have confidence in them? And personally, I've been studying with Geshe Michael for 24 years now, and worked with him directly. And I have confidence in him, not just confidence, but if you look at what he's done at the ACI courses, the advanced courses, the classes on yoga, the business courses, how many books are they up to? 110?
12.
112. 112 books.
Wrote or translated.
Written or translated. And not just that he did it, but the quality of them. These are
93.
Yeah, number 93. And if you look at the footnotes and the value, what he's created with it's now called the Asian Legacy Library, but the Asian Classic Input Project, it's the standard in the academic world. At one point, I think 15 years ago, there were 2 different projects, but now that's it. If you're in a university and you want to look up a Tibetan folio, you're going to use the Asian Legacy Library. And then the role that he has played in making the teachings, not just translating, but making them accessible to people, right? And in a format where they can be retaught. I have come to appreciate that there have been major figures in the history of Buddhism. People like we were discussing yesterday, Master Vasubandhu and Master Sangha, and the major roles they played in helping people understand the original Buddha's teachings. Master Vasubandhu, particularly associated with the Abhidharma school, and Master Sangha with the mind-only school. But then there's Nagarjuna with the higher way, the higher school, the middle way schools, and his teachings on emptiness. And, Jason Kappa, 14th century, and Abanka in the 20th century. But if you look at the role that Geshe Michael's played in preserving these teachings, helping people understand them, frankly, I think he's a historic figure on that level. I think he's going to be remembered as the key teacher that helped the teachings survive in the 20th century, survive the Tibetans having to leave Tibet and having the teachings brought out into the world. So that's my opinion, but I think it's appropriate to appreciate what he's done, his life's work, and frankly, to say that he works hard doesn't even make sense. It's not like he works hard. It's just his entire life has been devoted. I mean, he doesn't sleep very much, and literally all he does is work. And by work, I mean, these classes. So anyway, just a moment of gratitude for him and what he's done.
Yeah, and we cannot compare ourselves to Geshe Michael, really. So you actually need to sleep to meditate.
Yeah.
Because the subject of today's class is 5 problems and 8 solutions. It will be the subject for this and the next class that we will do on Friday. And some of the problems you can really not overcome if you do not sleep.
Yeah, sleep's critical. And so today's class is fun because we're going to start talking a bit more about how to actually do your meditation.
Yeah. We are going to mental processes. Remember, we were talking about what conditions, how to prepare to meditation, the 6 conditions, the correct posture, and now we are going to the actual mental process during meditation.
And don't let all the numbers, the 6 of that, 10 of this, or that might be 11 or might be 9. Don't let all the numbers overwhelm you. The ideas are simple. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start with the problems. So, Nyepanga, 5 problems, and Nyepoge, 8 solutions.
Mm-hmm. Problem number 1.
The famous one.
So everybody knows one Tibetan word.
Lelo.
Lelo. Lelo.
For some reason, people like it. And it is laziness.
Laziness, yeah.
Geshe Michael told me once, don't say people are lazy to meditate. Say you are busy to meditate. You should not be too busy to meditate.
Okay, don't be too busy.
People do not like when we call them lazy.
So, evil? Can we just call them evil?
Maybe they will not like it either.
Evil. All right. Too busy. Don't be too busy to meditate. It's one of the things that, particularly with Americans, I don't have time. Which it's crazy. It's like an athlete saying they don't have time to work out. They're too busy competing. I
remember a story about Mahatma Gandhi. If you are too young to know who Mahatma Gandhi is, he was a prominent Indian leader. India was a British colony, and there was a lot of, it was unfair, right? Because empires, they should not just come and invade your country because they can. And unfortunately, many in humans' history, it was the case many times. So British Empire invaded India, and India didn't want to stay with British Empire, evidently. They wanted to be independent, and Mahatma Gandhi was a very unusual leader who had a very clear understanding about how karma works, and he knew that if he will protest in an aggressive way, it will not work out for the country. So what he did, he organized peaceful protests in India, but in a way that British had a very difficult time to manage the country. And at some point, he had the most important meeting maybe in his life, in his political life, with the British Prime Minister. And they were close to resolve this, and he was told, oh, you don't have time to meditate today because you have a meeting with the British Prime Minister. He said, yeah, you're right. It's an important meeting. I will meditate 2 hours instead of 1 today.
You'll be more effective at whatever it is you're trying to do, radically more effective.
Yeah.
You'll be able to solve problems quicker, use your time more efficiently. So, but laziness, it's, I think. Busyness. Okay, yeah, busyness. You're busy, important, busy, important Americans.
Yeah, very busy.
And so this is actually like, we're going to talk later about the 9 stages of meditation. But the first one is the hardest because you simply have to decide you're going to sit down on the cushion, right? You can't get to the first stage unless you are regular and consistent about your meditation. And so if you can overcome your busyness, you're probably already doing better than 99% of the people if you just seriously sit down and actually start the practice. And lots of people will hear about it, but if you can actually start doing it, you will be probably in the top 1%. So what do you have on laziness?
For solutions, right?
Great.
So we have 5 problems, but you would expect 5 solutions. We have 8 solutions. Because as Bill said, laziness is the biggest problem. Okay, busyness is the biggest problem. And this is why the first problem has 4 solutions. What are the 4? You want to teach in a traditional way or in a...
Teach in the way that will help them the best.
Okay. So
we're not, that's one thing I like about this. It's not Tibetan, right? I mean, it's coming out of a Tibetan tradition, but it's for humans to solve their problems. So
it's very applicable for everybody, believe me. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, I still remember I was at school and I had a boy, I remember he was a son of our teacher. And I have fallen in love with him secretly. Of course, I didn't tell him. So
didn't tell me about this either.
It was like 30 years ago, my love. Oh, no, not 30, 33. Yeah.
I'll take that into consideration.
So I was this boy, and I was first solution, right, to laziness, business laziness. So I was thinking, wow, he's so smart. He knows all the answers. Like his mom was teaching geography, so he knew perfectly geography, but he was also good in history, And I was looking at him, and I was thinking, wow, he's so cool, right? Then the second stage, you think that meditation is cool because you have certain benefits from meditation. If you do not know the benefits you can get from meditation, please watch our public talk that we have done before this class, before this course.
We spent
1 week ago.
Yeah, we spent about an hour and a half talking about
benefits,
the cool things.
They're really cool. I mean, if you are a business person, you can use it right away. Even 1 month of meditation will make a huge difference. You will get less stressed. You will be more efficient. You will feel more focused, more energy. In my experience, I needed less sleep when I was when I started to meditate. I felt that I need less sleep. And even now, I think I don't need as much, right?
No, you know,
I like 6-7 hours usually. I'm well rested.
it's also, it's just when you start getting good at meditation, I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun to be able to sit down and listen to a 50-minute symphony and enjoy every single note, right? It's fun to be able to pick up big, thick academic books and read through them quickly and easily. I know it's like
okay, this is not fun for me.
well, it was fun for me, right? I really it's really fun to you can see patterns in things that you weren't going to be able to see. You can appreciate what's been done, what the other works. You can learn faster. It's you know, you can solve people's problems easier. It's fun. It's fun to have a mind that's working more efficiently at a higher level, frankly. It's fun to have that kind of ability.
Okay, my fun was to feel the future.
Yeah. and she does
to sleep less.
Yeah.
What really was fun? Oh, not getting angry. Because I don't know how about you. Some people, they are good in managing their emotions. I mean, managing, not suppressing, right? Managing means you feel it completely, your emotion. You're being honest with yourself about what you feel. But you are not getting overwhelmed with this emotion, right? And because you are stable inside, the emotion comes, whatever it is, big fear, anger, jealousy, whatever it is, and sadness, right? And then it just goes away like a wave, you know, of you. So if you are not a person who can manage like this, and I was such a person, I could stuck in the emotion like for weeks, you know, like something unpleasant would happen and I would be, you know, digesting it, like chewing on it like for weeks, and it was not pleasant. I know that I was planting bad seeds with this. Meditation is very helpful because what happened to me, I had this a little bit more room after something unpleasant happened to the moment when I have to react. Like it was like no room, then whoop, oh, I actually, this emotion comes and I can do this, I can do this, I can do this with it. You know, I had more freedom how to react, and it was actually because I didn't feel a slave of my emotions for the first time.
Yeah, we have these mental affliction attacks, right? You'll get angry about something, and sometimes if you're really out of control, that anger can just spin on for days. But as you meditate, you become aware of your mind and what it's doing, and that time shortens dramatically. And as you work with it, it gets better and better. So you go from days to maybe an hour. But then you catch yourself, oh, okay, well, this isn't actually working for me. My anger isn't actually helping me. And then you get down to minutes. And then you'll start catching it almost instantly.
Even before it happens, yeah. Is this coming?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I can hear the noise.
Yeah, it's like a hand grenade gets tossed into the room, and you're like, oh boy, I'm going to get rid of that thing right away. And you just toss a hand grenade, the hand bomb, right? Yeah. So it's like your anger, it's like you created it yourself, but you dropped a hand grenade in the room. And it's like, well, I'm going to get rid of that right away, because instead of that thing blowing up and lasting for days, I'm going to get rid of it. So
throwback.
and then, you know, if you can Yes, I'm going to throw it right back out. Yeah, just right. That can go back out the window. uh, and uh, and then, I mean, frankly, at a higher level, you're going to need to get shamatha. You're going to need to get really good at meditation to see the ultimate reality, out of which all of your problems are coming in the first place. And then when you see that ultimate reality, you realize that things could have been anything. It didn't have to be suffering like this. And then you realize that you're creating it yourself. And so then when that happens, you start having the ability, you start gaining the ability to permanently stop your problems, permanently, like they never come back. For the rest of time, they'll never come back. And you can't reach that stage. You can get a long way at holding them down, at suppressing them. But if you're going to pull them up by the roots and get rid of them permanently, you're going to have to meditate and see that ultimate nature reality. And then once you do, then you can. You will be done with suffering. So that's.
And you can do it. Everybody can do it, because our mind functions in the same exact way, and it is really powerful.
It's the true goal of your life. It's the true way to make your life meaningful. Instead of coming here and enjoying a handful of things that usually aren't as satisfying as what we think they're going to be, you can use meditation to solve your problems permanently. And if there's not a better selling point, if there's a better selling point than that, I don't know what it would be. So then you have to figure out, well, is it possible? Are we telling you something that's accurate, or is this just another dead end? And I think it's accurate. No, I think it's possible.
Okay.
So laziness.
Let's go to my story
right.
about my potential boyfriend at school. Never happened.
Wait, I didn't want to hear about it.
Never happened. Oh, you see, you were not at my school. You were somewhere flying your canyons on your fighters.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I talk about things changing. I was in the military, the United States military, as a pilot when the Soviet Union was still a country, when the Soviet Union was the enemy.
Yeah, and I was falling in love with the Soviet Union guy.
Yeah.
This is why.
That's why they were the enemy? I didn't know you then.
Okay, so I was thinking about the good qualities, right? Then I was thinking, okay, the qualities are pretty good. I want really to, I want to meet this guy, like, and then I remember I was thinking, because at school you do not go straight ways, right? You go like that, you have plans, and then I remember he was going at some there was a group of students. They were studying how to manage businesses, and I was thinking, oh, okay, this is my plan. I will join it, and I decided to join this group. And this is the solution number 2. You decide that you will meditate, right? Solution number 3. Soon you will like it. I promise. Soon you will like the story.
Good.
Do you want to know why? We never dated.
I'm relaxed now.
So then I took actions. I actually went. Solution number 3, you take actions. You bring your butt on the cushion or on your chair if you meditate on the chair in the morning. And the best is if you do not touch your phone in the morning, because phones are horrible. So what I try to do now is to do straight to meditate before I do anything else. I just go to the bathroom, then drink hot water with a lemon, and then I just go straight to meditate. Because we have too many distractions on our phones. And then you take an action. You do it, right? And this will be the actual antidote, because the more you will do it, you will see changes in your life. All these small things, like you sleep less, you are more efficient, more focused, you
more creative.
Are more creative. You are not blown away by other people's emotions anymore, you know. You are not stressed out. What else?
Pretty good list.
Yeah, pretty good list, right? You feel where you should go, where you shouldn't go, because you kind of have you become more intuitive. So and together with this, the meditation at first feels like Bill said, oh my God, I have to sit still for 5 minutes. No way.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember first I did it, I was like, what? And they call it peaceful mind. Like I have cockroaches in my head, you know, like dragons, not cockroaches. Like I was thinking that I have worse mind when I meditate than when I don't, which is not true. And we will talk about it when we will talk about 9 stages of meditation.
You know, they call it a straitjacket, right? Like the jackets they used to take in the 20th century. It was a common trope. It was a common theme in the movies in the middle of the 20th century in America, where they would take somebody and they would put a straitjacket on them, and they would and so your arms go
straight jacket.
Yeah, your arms go in, and then they can tie your arms up behind your back, and so you can't move. And so it was a way of restraining crazy people, right? And so the first time I sat down and I committed myself to 5 minutes of not moving, I felt like I mentally put a straitjacket on myself, and then it was like, just panic that I can't move. And boy, that goes away.
And what happens, you sit at your cushion and you have this feeling that you're like going into a socket, like boom, and you are there because when you reach this fourth solution, the result, we didn't call it Tibetan, right? We didn't say Tibetan, but it's practiced ease, right? Because from doing it again and again, you have this joy and happiness and lightness when you just go into your meditation posture, and you feel happy right away, because you know that at the very least next several minutes or half an hour or 1 hour, you will have this pleasure, like joy, peace in your mind, etc.
Yeah, there's actually, when you're getting good at meditation, there's a physical bliss that comes with it. And there's also an excitement because you realize that you're getting control of your mind in a way that you haven't had it before, at least in this lifetime. And it's exciting. It's like, wow, I can really, this is awesome. I can really use my mind. Like I'm gaining control of it. I didn't know that I wasn't in control of it. And then it's exciting. It's really, it's cool.
We have several questions. I suggest to answer these questions at the end. That we want to make sure that we go through all the...
And we are introducing these concepts here in this course. I'm planning, we'll do something for free afterwards to follow up for more detail on practice and go a little further into it, because it's a big world and you're going to need instruction from somebody who's meditated, frankly. It'll be very helpful if you have that. So we're introducing the ideas now. You'll get the basics. We'll keep working with the questions later.
Yeah. I mean, Bill is working on something practical, maybe a couple more classes that will be really practical after this course.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 solutions, Tingen Zin Ladepa, is when you develop faith, but what it means that you admire the benefits of meditation. You learn these certain benefits and you think, wow, really? I can stop my death at some point if I meditate? Really? I can meet beings that are like angels, right? In different religions, they call it angels or enlightened beings. Really, I can stop my anger forever, all the negative emotions. It's pretty cool, right?
It's yeah, from simple things like reading a heavy book happily to stopping your death, which is hard to imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's there. So anyway, okay.
Yeah. Second, you want it, Dunpa. Third, Tsundru, you put efforts, you do action. I went to meet my never happened boyfriend.
It's close.
And because it never happened, I didn't get the result from it, you see. But it didn't happen with him, happened with you, my love, you see. And now it's easy because we are together and we get to know each other. We are almost for 5 years.
Almost 5 years now.
Yeah, because we met on the 25th September 2019.
And honestly, our happy relationship is the result of, at least meditation has some role in there. Definitely. Because you take these ACI courses, you do your homeworks and do your meditations, and it puts the wisdom in your head. And then you use that wisdom to create the world that you want, which is a happy partnership. And so, like if my happy marriage is absolutely at least partly related to meditation. So
okay, so then you meditate, right? You already meditate and you meet another obstacle.
Mm-hmm. So and then we get into so we got to Shinjan, the pleasure, and then one thing I wanted to talk about. Let's make the efforts necessary to get good at meditation. I know we've said this once before, but I'll just say it again. Mostly that means sitting down at least 6 days a week, consistently, at whatever level you're happy at. If it's, most people here should be able to do 15 minutes a day. And then
if you never meditated, start with 10.
Yeah.
Then you will be safe.
And if you're struggling with 10, start at 5. But 15 good minutes a day, it'll get you started in the right direction. And then work up from there. And your goal should be shamatha, should be a really good meditation, the level you need to permanently solve your problems. And that's going to take, depending upon the person, depending upon the other factors in your life that we can go into a lot more detail later, but 1 to 2 hours a day. And so, and it sounds like a lot.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Don't get worried about it. And it will pay itself off. So, okay. Ready?
Then
Next one.
the next one, Damyak Jepa, forgot instruction, the instruction. And we tell you the ancient names. Unfortunately, the name does not mean what it says.
Mm.
It does not mean that you have forgotten what you were told. It means that you lost the object of meditation. We didn't come yet to objects to meditate on. By the way, it's never a physical object. Because when you meditate on something physical, it's not an object, because meditation is an internal process. So you didn't forget instructions, you just are not on the object of meditation anymore. And for example, in the meditation we have done with you, even though there was no separate meditation object, you have seen your teacher or a being who is compassionate and wise in front of you. And so at some point you can see your teacher, but then breakfast. What's for breakfast? Like,
yeah. And then, oh, what time do I have to leave the house to get to work? And then, oh, what am I going to do at work? And then, well, then lunch. Do I have lunch made? And then, oh boy, my boss, don't like my boss. And then, you've sat down and you were gonna.
He opened this blinders yesterday.
Yeah. That's what. And she was upset at me because I opened the blinds behind us and you could see the ugly brick wall behind us.
Yeah, because we got another building, and we were working hard to make a picture beautiful for you. And then I was like, can't believe you did it. So today in my meditation.
So forgetting the instructions, what this looks like, you prepare your meditation spot, your cushion, your altar, if you have one. You sit down and you never start on the object. You're just daydreaming, you're planning things, you're doing anything other than.
Or you get distracted from the object.
Yeah, you'll sit down and first 30 seconds you're on it, and then the next 15 minutes you're just daydreaming. And so to be fair, that's not going to count as meditation. Like at that point, if your mind isn't on the object, at least, well, anyway, if your mind's not on the object at all, you haven't meditated. You may have sat down, but you've daydreamed or planned or indulged in mental afflictions. Another popular one. I'm the judge and the jury, and I'm going to convict and.
Unhappy with what happens.
Oh, and justice will be served with my anger as I sit here on my cushion for 15 minutes. Right? That's not not meditation.
So actually, what I think when it starts with me, I think that I have a 5-year-old kid in my mind, like it wants to play, it wants food, it wants distractions, it doesn't really want to sit on a stupid cushion. Then what you do, or my very first Tibetan teacher, he was calling it a wandering dog, like the dog that wanders around the universe, and you can never catch it. And because you can never catch it, you cannot direct your mind, this dog, into what you want actually in your life.
Yeah, monkey mind is another term you'll hear. It's like, oh, banana, oh, ball, oh, now I'm gonna swim. Back to the banana. Oh, look, there's some grass. So it's like your mind is jumping from one object to another and never really stays focused for long, like a monkey.
So what do you do with this monkey girl in your monkey boy in your mind? You should be compassionate. and don't be bossy, you know, don't be unhappy with them, like with this, oh, I decided to meditate on this, why do you jump all around? Like, no, it doesn't work with them like that. You imagine that you have this 5-year-old kid, so like you should bring some sweets, nice sweets, right? Candies, like you say, yeah, okay, you're thinking about breakfast. We will have a beautiful breakfast, everything you want after we meditate. And then like tun, 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 very gently, never aggressive, never too strong, just gently pull back to the object.
Yeah, you'll improve quicker with positive reinforcement instead of negative. So getting angry at yourself for having a monkey mind is just going to irritate the monkey. So
because I remember Geshe Michael's metaphor was a stubborn cow, you know, like in these Arizona cows, and he says they can go wherever they want. All guess how he knows.
Long story. We can talk about it later.
He had an accident. The cow happened.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but these cows, they go all over the place, and then somewhere in the fall, I guess, they bring them back. And how they bring, they put carrots in a truck, and truck goes slowly, and cows, they go behind this truck, and then 1 or 2 cows, usually they're very stubborn. They don't want to go. They don't want to be killed, slaughtered. So they use this lasso thing to drag them. So your mind is like these cows. If you will be aggressive, the cow will win. It's more powerful. So don't fight with your mind. You will lose.
Yeah. So the solution for getting the instruction, the solution for just wandering totally off the object and daydreaming is the Tibetan word is drumpa, and it means remembering. Just remember why you sat down, and what will happen is that you're watching. It's interesting, right? Because part of your mind is watching your mind, and you'll get dramatically better at being aware of what your mind is doing. And
that's the next solution.
Yeah, okay. Right. So
yeah, so don't fight your mind, don't be an enemy, don't be bossy, be a friend. Try to convince and talk like to a 4 or 5-year-old kid, like will not work with them to yell at them. No meditation afterwards. Just gently, we will meditate just 5 minutes, just today, and then we will go to have a breakfast. Like one of our students, she says, me and my princess, right? We will do that, Oksana. Okay, the next one is, so the antidote was recalling, Drenpa, right?
Like remembering.
Gently bring back to the object. Remember. And it does not mean remember. It means to gently go back on the object, right? The third, that's a really important one, because the first stages, you will go quickly through this. First, you will, no, not quickly.
Well, depends, right?
Okay.
Maybe if you're a doctor and used to concentrating, and but the first 3 stages, and we'll talk about this. At first, what you're doing is just trying to keep your mind on the object. You're trying just not to lose it, right? Whether it's the breath or some other object. But you're just trying to keep meditating and not lose it entirely. And it's actually a pretty big step when you get to the point where you can sit down for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and never lose the object. And you'll see when you first try, if you're like me, I mean, just take 30 seconds without
wild man.
Yeah, wild man. Yeah, just right, completely, just crazy monkey.
Bill has so much energy.
Not just monkey mind, but caffeinated monkey mind, right? Just like all over the place. And so, at first, holding my mind on for 30 seconds or a minute was hard. And then your skill will get better. And then it's a major milestone when you can hold your mind on the object. But you're not done at that point, right? There's still quite a bit to go. And what you're going to be working with at that point are agitation and dullness.
And this is the third problem.
Yeah.
Mental dullness and agitation, or we actually do not call it that way anymore.
They don't use those terms.
We say sleepy mind and busy mind.
Sleepy mind and busy mind. Yeah, that's gonna describe it pretty well. But so what does busy mind look like? Busy mind, and in the course they're calling it agitation. So you're focused on your breath. You're not losing it, but then other things come into your mind, like pretty big things, like you're breathing in, breathing out. You might think breakfast, but then you're not going to lose it for a whole breath, right? You're remembering. Your drenpa is good enough at this point that you're not going to actually lose the object. It's kind of like you have a light that's shining on something, right? Like the light shining on the can, and then you can see the can, but then something runs across it. And so, you've never lost your focus on the can, but you have an awareness of something else, like running across like your consciousness. And these can be pretty big, and they can be pretty constant. You're not losing the object, but you have a lot of other big thoughts that are running through at the same time.
They also use the analogy of clouds in the sky. I mean, you see the sky, but there are also clouds, like many.
Yeah. And you'll see it. It's possible both to hold on to the object and to have all of these other thoughts popping up and disappearing. And they won't stay long enough to pull you out of your focus on that object, but they'll be there, and they're definitely disturbing your meditation, and decreasing the quality of it. So that's busy mind. Sleepy mind. Do you want to talk about sleepy mind?
Sleepy mind, imagine we had a question about food yesterday, right? I think it's a good moment to answer it. Imagine that you have overeaten like somewhere between 11 and 12 p.m. yesterday, 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 12
in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the night.
Oh, in the middle of the night. Okay, that too.
p.m. a.m. Yeah. And then you didn't sleep enough. Like you woke up 6 a.m., had like 5 hours of sleep, and then you sit in your meditation. Imagine you close your eyes and the big fat elephant is sitting in your mind. That's dullness. It's actually when your mind is sleepy. And
you don't have any energy to engage it. You're on the object, but the object isn't vivid. It's not. There's like a brightness. There's an intensity that you can focus on, and you've lost that. It's like
And then you can fall asleep also.
Well, and that's and that actually that becomes a problem. Like once you get rid of agitation, like your mind's not jumping around a lot, and then you start working on the dullness, on the sleepy mind. Well, and then you start having problems with falling asleep. It's like, oh, I managed to decaffeinate the monkey, and then now he's sleeping.
Yeah. And also, what happens is you will learn to apply this antidotes, and you will get all the information about the antidotes, and then even cooler stuff will come because Bill went through all the stages of this. Bhavana Krama, right? Stages of meditation. So he is a living example who can
lots of people have.
Tell you.
Lots of people have,
and also very modest.
Well,
yeah, people they do develop shamatha, but not very often.
Yeah, shamatha is a much, frankly, easier goal to reach than the direct perception of emptiness.
Yeah.
And so shamatha is like relatively easy to do.
Yeah, if you are in 3-year retreat, it's not relatively easy.
There wasn't a whole lot else to do. I remember early on, and I'd been working pretty consistently. I was getting a little tired. And then it was like a Sunday. So, okay, I worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, been doing this. So it was a Sunday. I'm like, I'm just going to take Sunday off. I'm in retreat.
You are working in retreat.
Yeah, I was working in retreat.
Meaning doing your practices.
Yeah, doing my prayers, doing my meditation, doing my yoga. I'm
tired.
I'm tired. I'm going to take the day off. And then I woke up on this Sunday in retreat, right? I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not seeing anybody. And then it's like, well, now what? I got the day off. What am I going to do now? I stare at the floor all day long. Now I'm staring at the ceiling. Or now I'm staring at the floor. This is going to be fun. So yeah, it helps. It helps you to meditate.
Yeah. Okay. So with the dullness, an important thing is what we do in meditation is we make sure that we do not go neither into dullness nor into agitation. So our mind is neither sleeping nor busy. It's right in between. It's like when you study to ride the bicycle or a car, and you're like, I remember first time I was a white Zhiguli 5. I was learning a very old car. There was this. It cannot run very fast, to be honest, but I was afraid even 30 kilometers per hour, like, ooh, fast. And then you make some a little bit movement, and then it goes too much to the right, and then another movement too much to the left, and then you learn how to stay in the middle, or like with your airplanes, right? You cannot go to the right or to the left, right? You should go, otherwise there will be no takeoff.
Oh, yeah.
So this is exactly with the dullness and agitation or sleepy and busy mind.
And then once you are able to hold the object, once you're able to stay on the object, the entire battle at that point, the entire road to progress for reaching shamatha, for reaching the stage of meditation you need to have direct perception of emptiness, for reaching the stage of meditation you need to permanently solve your problems. The entire battle is going to be with busy mind and sleepy mind. And when you can subdue those, when you get control of those, that's when you're going to reach shamatha. And so the next stages are all about dealing with that. And again, it's really exciting as you progress and develop. Like an athlete that, like, I don't know, like a hockey player, and the first day he can't skate at all. And then, at some point later, he's jumping over things and, skating backwards and doing all kinds of tricks. It's the same thing, or, so.
There is one more thing I think we should say about obvious and subtle dullness. It will be more important later on.
And I don't want to run too late because we've got about 10 minutes left, and I know people are and it's late for people. So it's just because there's levels of sleepy mind and busy mind, and we'll talk a lot about it.
Yeah, we will talk at in class 7, I think. It will be about obvious and subtle dullness.
There's a fair amount to say about how you're going to overcome those obstacles. So, but watchfulness.
Okay, the antidote for the dullness and the agitation, for the sleepy and busy mind, is sheshin. For some reason, people like this word, like out of all these Tibetan words, there are 3 of them that they remember. Lelo, sheshin, which is watchfulness, or Geshe Michael nowadays call it a smoke alarm detector, tune, 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 smoke, or and the drenpa, bring back to the object. Okay, so the session is you appoint some part of your mind responsible for watching. Are you dull or are you agitated? And this will be session. It should give you a signal. Like when you sit to meditate, you think, okay, and I will be observing, like, like a periscope. Are you dull? Are you sleepy? Are you busy? And time to time, are you sleepy? Are you busy? Am I sleepy? Am I busy? No, I'm not sleepy. I'm not busy. Okay. Something like that. So
hang on just a second.
Session, the session does not do any job. It is important to remember that the alarm, smoke alarm, does not stop the fire. There should be a guy who will come and stop it, and this is Genpa. It's the same exact meditation muscle that will bring you to the object or correct how close you are to the object, and should you be a little bit more relaxed if you are too busy, or come closer to the object if you are too dull, right? So the work will be done by Genpa.
Your mind can watch your mind as it's thinking. And then as it gets better, again, just like an athlete, at first it will take a lot of effort to be aware of your mind and be aware of the object and to apply these antidotes. And as your mental capacity increases, as your strength will increase, your effectiveness will increase, and it'll get to be very easy to do this. And so at first you're going to be struggling, and it gets easier over time, to the point where eventually it will take just almost no effort, literally almost no effort to sit down and so you'll gain control of your mind. Okay.
So you didn't want to do this. Okay, the next question is about the difference between fixation with clarity and fixation with both clarity and intensity, because this is the goal actually. If you want to reach shamatha, then your meditation should be with fixation on the object. It should be clear and intense, like maybe you remember your first kiss with your husband,
Mm-hmm.
not boyfriend. I remember actually. Was on the way
Our first
to
kiss?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
So you can remember the quality of your first kiss, right? You have a guy in front of you, and then it's you can see him clearly, and because of these emotions between you, it becomes really intense, and then the first kiss happens. This is what you want in your meditation.
The traditional example that Geshe is going to use here is that fixation is like holding a cup. You have the cup. You don't want to use this?
Go ahead. I will comment afterwards.
Okay. Fixation is holding a cup. You have it. It's not going to fall out. Fixation with clarity is holding the cup loosely. Fixation with clarity and intensity is to hold the cup firmly. I mean, I personally think of it more like in terms of a light, like you have a beam of light that's like shining on an object and it's not moving off that, right? It's not like it's focused on one thing, it's not wandering around the room to something else. And then is that light bright or is it dull, right? I mean, the light could get turned down and you're not, like you can still see it. It's just not there with the same intensity. And then there's also an energy. There's also an energy that you can have that, are you like fully awake or are you fully alert? Like on this object that you have, that the light of your mind is shining onto it. So, anything else? So, how much time do we have left?
5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes.
Explain the difference between gross and subtle dullness in meditation. It will be the last question on your homework, and please do homeworks because this is the only way you will really master this subject.
Mm.
It's actually related to the fixation,
Yeah.
right? Clarity and intensity. So obvious dullness is when you have fixation on the object and lost its clarity. And subtle dullness, it will be when the object is clear but not intense.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why this is getting brought up now is that subtle dullness is a huge trap. Everything else, if you've lost the object altogether, that's going to be obvious. I'm thinking about lunch instead of my breath. Agitation or busy mind, that's easy to see. I briefly thought about lunch instead of the object. And dullness or sleepy mind, gross sleepy mind, that's easy to see also.
I just have fallen asleep and has fallen.
Yeah, my head hit the table.
Hit the table.
That was okay. That was gross. That was not subtle sleepy mind. That was, but then the subtle part. What can happen is that you've conquered it. You're holding the object. You have your mind's focused on the object. You're not losing the object. You don't have agitation. You're not falling asleep. But you're just sitting there with this subtle dullness, just droning on, and you're kind of zoned out. And it can kind of be peaceful because you're not being hassled by your mental afflictions. You're not angry about the past. You're not worried about the future. You're there in the moment. you're on the object, but it doesn't have clarity. It doesn't have intensity. You're just zoned out, and it's peaceful. You can sit for hours, frankly, like that. And
kind of spacing out.
Yeah, you've just spaced out, and a lot of people, if they don't recognize it, yeah, you can. Hey, I sat down for 3 hours today, and they are meditating, but not in a way that's going to help them with anything. And so subtle dullness is a big trap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was the last subject that we wanted to tell you about. So today was about obstacles. Mm-hmm. There are 4 obstacles, 8 solutions, and we have finished the 5 obstacles for 8 solutions. And we finished 3 of them, and 2 more for the next class.
And these are big ideas. We'll keep working with these concepts. We'll keep looking at them, refining them for you, helping you understand them and apply them to your meditation, and to do that in an effective way so that you can reach the higher levels of meditation as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so. And if you are very busy, you should meditate, because you will figure how to be less busy if you meditate.
And just more effective with the time that you do have.
Yeah. Just make sure that you do it every day, even 5 minutes. And we will teach you several meditations, I guess. We didn't talk about it yet, so we will decide which one to teach you, and probably we will do it on practical class. Questions. Food. So food is important. If you want to meditate in the morning, don't eat too late, because you will not meditate, you will be sleepy. Or don't meditate after you had breakfast, because usually also you will be prone to sleepiness, unless you are like Bill, who for him it is better to have his breakfast, then he does not think about his breakfast.
Yeah, I was a little different. I had to have breakfast before sitting down, otherwise I was going to be so hungry I couldn't
meditate.
I couldn't concentrate. Now that doesn't mean, and this is all getting into practical advice for meditations that we'll do later in quite a bit of, but you can't meditate after caffeine. You're not going to have a big cup of coffee. And I mean, if you want to experience gross agitation,
get coffee and meditate.
There's the caffeinated monkey is, he's not going to help you.
Then other things that usually if you eat meat, it will be you will be prone to dullness in meditation. Some people, they are prone to agitation, but mostly to dullness if they eat meat. And I cannot say I have how to say, statistically proven about mushrooms and garlic. People, some meditators, they try to avoid it. I personally don't, but I don't eat it very often, so I'm not a good person to look at. What definitely is bad for me is sugar. Like, sugar is bad for me because my lung that I naturally have a little bit because of my constitution, and because I work a lot with artificial stuff like computers, and so sugar, it is bad for your lung condition. Like for the meditation, it's bad. Yeah, coffee and sugar. What else?
Yeah, in retreat, you get very sensitive to how food is affecting you because there's nothing else that you can pay attention to. And I remember even the difference between brown rice and white rice. I liked brown rice better.
I have read his letters from the retreat, and he was writing that, oh, don't eat white rice, only brown rice.
Yeah, yeah. So
yoga is very helpful for meditation. And boy, I had something else, not food. It's okay.
It's I think we've come to the end of the class.
We have many advice, but I think you don't have to be hungry half of a day to meditate to answer Yulia's question whether she should stop eating after 12. No, you don't.
Oh yeah, that was the monastic practice of not eating after noon. I get, they were also, it's, we aren't monastics, most of us are out working a job. We're not getting up at 3 a.m. to do the pre-dawn session. We're not, there's a lot of those practices, there was a deeper reason why they were doing it, and it worked for them, but we have to adapt it to our situation, in whether you're a parent or a student, working in an office or, working a job, you have to adapt it to that. And so I don't think things like not eating after noon is going to work for very many people.
Probably not. And to answer the last question about meditation with audio accompaniment with the voices. Look, when you learn one particular meditation, like maybe lion's dance or Jetsun Kappa's Ganben Plakyama, right? Or Golden Room, what else? Tonglen. You will need to learn instructions how to meditate. So you need this voiceover to learn how to meditate. But then once you learn, you don't have to listen to it anymore, because only after that you will start your real meditation. And before, it's like almost meditation.
Contemplation is the term that you'll hear. If you're sitting down,
it's not even contemplation, because it's not on your own, right?
Yeah, no, it's
so you're just learning instructions. It's okay. Part of your mind is meditating, but it's not at all.
You're not going to move up the levels and reach shamatha this way. You're going to have to learn to control your own mind, and we'll talk more. You have the ability to do it.
And because meditation is an internal process, so whether you listen to instructions are necessary, or you listen to music, like you cannot really withdraw your sense powers, right? And meditation starts when it becomes an internal process, and you try. This is why you sit still. This is why you go from the noises to your body, then to like your heart or your nose. You concentrate on something small, because this is when the meditation starts. So we work to withdraw our senses.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
We will see you next weekend.
No, wait. Close your eyes. Think about 1 hour, 35 minutes that you spend learning how to meditate and helping each other to study it, and dedicate your seeds, plenty of them that you have planted, to solve your problems, your challenges, become a happy person, and teach everybody else how to be happy. And you can finish with 3 long out breaths. First for your golden light comes out of your chest and goes to every single person you love. Second time, rays of light, they go to every single living creature on this planet. And third, the golden light goes to every single creature in this universe. Countless beings. Open your eyes. Thank you for coming. Please stay. Please continue to study. Please do homeworks and come on Friday.
Большое спасибо.
Wrong language.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We're very excited about this and looking forward to continuing the classes next weekend.
And if you are in Chicago, please come physically.
Are we going to do it live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's Russian.
Bye.
Bye. So long.